their ancestral line and where they come from. So I'll just run through a couple right now for you, Erica, and we'll start with the one that you started with. Chief Justice John Roberts has family that goes back to, English mining town and Slovakia, both settled in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. In fact, I think it's interesting that his great-great-great-grandfather, who was working in Northwest England in a coal mine, ends up in coal mining country here in Johnstown. That's a very familiar pattern for many families. Their ancestors coming over to this country doing the same kind of work. Another person who next in line for seniority is Clarence Thomas, and he has talked about descending from African slaves who came to America many decades ago, centuries ago, and he was raised in Savannah by his maternal grandparents, and he even spoke recently at an appearance about how his grandfather had a grandmother who was born into slavery, and he has spoken about how meaningful that connection is to him. It really shapes some of these justices in different ways. And another justice just like that would be Samuel Alito, who's comes from a family that's more recent to the U.S. His grandparents came here from southern Italy. In fact, they had a different name than he has now. His grandfather, when he immigrated, his name was Salvador Alati, A-L-A-T-I. I think that's how you probably pronounce it. But Justice Alito has said that was either changed at Ellis Island or soon after. And he especially remains very close to his Italian heritage. Two other justices who I will quickly name for you, Justice Sonia Sotomayor, she talks all the time about her Puerto Rican roots. And Puerto Rico, of course, has been part of the U.S. since the early 1900s. But her parents themselves, her grandparents, and before that, went back to Puerto Rico when it was still Spanish territory. And finally, Elena Kagan, who speaks very much of how her Jewish identity is intertwined with her American identity. 3 of her 4 grandparents were Russian Jews who immigrated here from the territory that is now part of Ukraine. Erica?
Yeah, it is so interesting as you get that snapshot into all of their origin stories. Joan, appreciate it. Thank you.